talking about maxima and minima, guys, we'll be talking about basically maximum minimum values. Okay, maximum minimum basically term बोलना directly ऐसा गलत है because maximum minima generally derivatives में होता है. Okay, but yeah, to talk about maximum and minimum value of a given equation, okay, or a given function. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll first try to understand the maximum minimum values of modulus functions. Okay, we are already aware of modulus functions. We know y is equal to mod x is a modulus function, right? And for modulus functions, okay, we know the graph is v shaped. Y is equal to mod x, the graph is v shaped. Okay, हमने बहुत सारे graph plot भी किए हैं. Only thing is now we are interested in the theoretical part. Okay, the value वाला part. Okay, कितना value है और कौन से value of x पे आने वाला है. Okay, so if you observe this, guys, for this graph of y is equal to mod x, this graph has a minimum value, and the minimum value happens when x is equal to 0, right? Okay, this is the minimum value. इसके beyond अगर हम x increase कर रहे हैं या decrease भी कर रहे हैं, okay, अगर x equal to +1 लिया, उसका mod 1 ही होगा. अगर -1 लिया, still mod is +1, right? So you take any value other than x equal to 0, the graph will go on increasing, right? The value of y will go on increasing. So we can say that at x equal to 0, the graph has a minimum value, okay, and that minimum value is 0. Okay, guys, identifying the maxima and the minima, okay, will require some judgment. Okay, और धीरे धीरे आप क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करोगे, आपको लॉजिकली समझ के अपने आप you'll come to understand that. Okay, anyway, we are going to discuss that in detail, in the upcoming part. Okay, now guys, if I suppose change it, if I suppose make the graph as y is equal to mod of x plus 2. Okay, अब यहाँ पे we are making changes in x. We saw that already in the transpose wala part. We saw when we saw plotting of graphs. Okay, whenever I have the graph of y is equal to f of x, okay, f of x plus a क्या होगा? F of bracket x plus a. Okay, it will be a units across the x-axis, right? अब यहाँ पे x plus 2 है, okay, plus sign है, means the graph will shift towards the left by 2 steps. Okay, so graph will be something like this. Okay, so this is the graph of y is equal to x plus 2. Now guys, what do you notice? The minimum value of the graph is still 0, right? देखो यहाँ पे lowest point यहाँ पे 0 ही है अभी, right? And as in when you are increasing or decreasing the value of x, the graph is increasing in value, right? So यहाँ पे we can say that the graph has a minimum value which is still 0, but that minimum value has shifted across the horizontal axis, and that is now x equals to -2. Okay, if I further change the graph, if I suppose the graph is y is equal to mod x plus 2 plus 3. Okay, अब हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are simply having a function y is equal to f of x. Okay, again we have seen this in transpose. Okay, I'll just give you a brief recap. We have a graph of y is equal to f of x. उसमें we are adding a, right? That means the graph will shift a units across the y-axis depending upon the sign of a. Sign of here is a is positive. That means the graph will go up by a steps. Here a का value is 3. So our graph will now go up by 3 steps. Right? So what do you observe, guys? जो ग्राफ का वैल्यू इनिशियली y इक्वल टू 0 था, ओके, एट x इक्वल टू -2, x इक्वल टू -2 पे अब वही ग्राफ 3 स्टेप ऊपर चला गया है, राइट? दैट मींस नाउ द मिनिमम वैल्यू हैज बीन शिफ्टेड फ्रॉम 0 से +3. ओके, दैट मींस दिस ग्राफ हैज अ मिनिमम वैल्यू दैट इज +3, and that happens at x equals to -2. Right? So we go on to the next question. Find the minimum or maximum value of mod of 2x plus 5 plus 3. Okay. So guys, as we saw in the transpose wala process, we basically plot the graph of y is equal to mod of 2x plus 5 plus 3. Okay. And as usual, our starting point will be a familiar graph, y is equal to 2x or something which we can plot, right? So this is the graph of y equals to 2x. We have plotted this a million times. Huh? Exaggeration at its peak. Okay, yeah, we have solved it multiple times before. So you can take values of x equal to 0, तो y 0 आएगा, x equal to 1 पे y 2 आएगा. Okay, this is what we have, something like this. Okay, ये दो point मिलेंगे, you join them. Okay, now the next step is to plot the graph of y is equal to 2x plus 5. We will understand that you are making changes in y, 2x may you are adding 5, right? So the graph will go 5 steps up, right? That's exactly what happened here. Okay, or you can also imagine this to be y is equal to twice of x plus 2.5. If you observe carefully, ये भी हम पहले कर चुके हैं. Okay, or that means you can shift the graph 2.5 steps towards the left. Okay, ये भी कर सकते हैं, एक ही बात है. Okay. Now guys, we apply mod. Okay, now whenever we apply mod, we have studied that mod क्या करता है? Mod makes all the negative values as positive. Okay, तो जो भी values x axis के नीचे हैं, they will simply become positive now. So this is the graph of y is equal to mod of 2x plus 5, isn't it? अब इसी ग्राफ को हम लोग क्या करेंगे? 2x mod of 2x plus 5 plus 3 कर देंगे. That means what? You are basically shifting at 3 steps up, right? So now what do we realize, guys? जो वैल्यू पहले मिनिमम 0 थी, अब वो मिनिमम वैल्यू कितनी हो गई है? 3 हो गई है, right? And that happens when x equals to -2.5. That means this graph has a minimum value, and that is +3. This will happen at x equals to -2.5. Okay, One more question based on this, guys. Next one. Find the minimum or maximum value of 5 minus mod of 3x minus 6. Okay, same thing. Okay, we'll plot the graph of y is equal to mod of 3x minus 6 and try to understand this, right? So y is equal to 3x से start करेंगे हम लोग. Okay, normal y equal to 3x का graph, right? Now we go on to the next part, guys. We plot the graph of y is equal to 3x minus 6. Okay, ये graph क्या होगा? 6 step नीचे होगा, right? And if you observe carefully, you are making changes in 3 common x minus 2. So you can also shift it to the right by 2 steps. एक ही बात है. Okay, whichever is comfortable to you actually. Okay, next step is, guys, we take the mod. Mod क्या करेगा, guys? Mod will make all the negative values positive. So this is the graph of mod of 3x minus 6. Okay, इसी को अब हमें negate करना है, right? Because in the question I have minus mod of 3x minus 6, right? When we negate this, guys, we have seen this. Okay, जब भी graph y is equal to fx का हम बनाते हैं, graph of y is equal to minus fx basically becomes a mirror image across the x-axis, right? Why? Because now the y coordinates have simply inverted, right? The y coordinates have reversed. And positive thing, now they become negative. Okay, so the graph will invert about the x-axis. Okay, next step is you basically add 5, okay, to make it 5 minus mod of 3x minus 6. That means your graph will go up by 5 steps. Okay, what do you realize, guys? ये graph का maximum value जो है वो है 5, right? And the maximum value happens at x equals to 2. So that means the graph here has a max value 5 and it happens at x equals to 2. Going on further, guys, अब तक हमने क्या ऑब्जर्व किया? For y is equal to mod 2x plus 5, the graph has a minimum value 3 and that happens at x equals to minus 2.5. That means, guys, minimum value या maximum value find करने के लिए सिंपल चीज हम क्या करना है? जो भी वैल्यू mod के अंदर है, okay, उसकी पहले minimum value find करनी है, right? And उसकी minimum value कितनी होगी? 0 होगी, because mod का minimum value ही 0 होता है. It is the distance of a point from the origin. तो distance minimum कब होगा? जब हम origin consider करेंगे, right? X equal to 0, right? So when will this part be equal to 0? अब यहाँ पे mod x नहीं है, mod 2x plus 5 है. अब ये part 0 कब होगा? When x equals to minus 5 by 2 or minus 2.5, right? And when this part becomes 0, guys, the value of y is 0 plus 3 equals to 3. That is the minimum value, right? So ये equation देख के हम बोल सकते हैं कि इस graph का value minimum होगा या maximum होगा, कितना होगा और at what value of x होगा, right? Let's try once again. Just now we solve this question. Okay, we know that this part का minimum value is 0, right? अब ये part 0 से धीरे-धीरे आगे बढ़ेगा, right? So 5 minus something धीरे-धीरे जो भी होगा वो value धीरे-धीरे घटेगा. That means this particular graph has a maximum value which is equal to 5. और ये maximum 5 कब होगा, guys? जब ये वाला part 0 हो जाएगा, right? When will this part be equal to 0? When 3x minus 6 becomes 0 or x becomes equal to 2, right? That means in this case the graph has a maximum value 5. This happens when x is equal to 2. Okay, let's solve a few more questions. For this this guys, y equals to 3 minus mod of 2x minus 1. In this case also, this part will become 0 when 2x minus 1 becomes 0 or x is equal to half, right? And at 2x minus 1 equal to 0, this entire part becomes 0. So y will be 3 minus 0, which is equal to 3. Okay, if you now increase x, guys, this part will keep on increasing. So 3 minus this part will basically go on decreasing, right? इनका difference धीरे-धीरे और कम होगा as the second part becomes more. That means 3 is the maximum value for this graph, and that happens when x is equal to half. It's as simple as that, right? Let's go on to the last question of this lot. Y is equal to 5 plus mod of 3x minus 2. Again, when will this part be equal to 0? When 3x minus 2 becomes 0, or basically x is 2 by 3. Okay, now when you take this part completely as 0, y is 5 plus 0, which is 5. अगर हम x को increase करेंगे, mod का value और increase होगा. जब हम decrease भी करेंगे अगर x को, mod का value definitely increase ही होगा, right? So this 5 is the minimum value of this function, and that happens when x is 2 by 3. So this equation y equal to 5 plus mod 3x minus 2 has a minimum value 5. That happens when x equals to 2 by 3.